Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 2 of the minivan detail. Gonna tear into the interior on this part. Sometimes I'll do the interior first. On this one, I did the exterior first just because it was so hot outside and I didn't feel like messing with the interior on that day. But this is the second day. We're doing the inside. Nothing crazy. The seats actually aren't bad at all. Just got to clean the carpet really well, all the plastics really well. But for the seats, I just have to spot treat a couple areas and basically vacuum them. There's nothing too bad with them. I always start my detail with a really good thorough vacuum. Some areas you could blow out with your air hose. If you're going to make a mess, if you're going to blow dust around, this would be the time right before you vacuum. Sometimes I'll blow out underneath the seats and this and that. Just saves a lot of time vacuuming if you can get the air compressor or some kind of blower to blow out all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just vacuuming everything. Make sure I get all the hair, dirt, debris. That way when I go to actually clean the carpet and clean the plastics, makes my job a lot easier. I'm just not pushing dirt around. As you can see here, it just has some lint in the carpet, had some pine needles here in the back. Customer said he had like a 13 or 16-foot Christmas tree in the back. For the carpets here, I'm just using the Detail King Magic Cleaner Concentrated. I diluted it pretty good. I don't know the dilution ratio that I followed on the bottle. Just use the drill with the brush on the attachment and just scrub everything that way instead of trying to scrub it with a hand brush. Some areas I'll still have to hit a hand brush if I can't reach them with the drill, but this generally works fairly well for carpet that's not super dirty and it doesn't need carpet extracted. Even if I was planning on extracting this carpet, I'd probably still do this step first even before I did use the carpet extractor. I generally won't get out the carpet extractor unless they're super dirty. And then this one also was leaving this day. So I had to make sure the carpet was all dry for when the customer picked up. It's so humid here in Lancaster County, PA, that if the customer took it home and set it in the garage and had it all sealed up, if we used the carpet extractor and it didn't dry before he picked it up, could have run into possible mold and bacteria and that kind of stuff growing in it. So just spraying it with the cleaner, scrubbing it real good, and then using fresh, clean microfiber towels to kind of absorb any dirt. And this process generally works, I would say, for 75% of the cars that we do get in. And I've been using this method for, gosh, 15, 17 years, and it typically works very well. Yes, there is a time for an extractor, but I would say it's probably only 30% of the time where we actually have to break out that big old extractor and warm it up and use that. Some guys will probably ask why I'm doing the carpet first. That's kind of just my preference on this particular detail. When you detail the same way every single day, multiple times a day, sometimes it's just nice to change it up a little bit. And I think sometimes it'll help if you do all the plastics and top side first. A lot of debris and stuff will drop down onto the carpet, so you have to do actually 3 total vacuums instead of 2. So if I do the carpet first, I only have to do that pre-vacuum and then a final vac once everything's clean. Here to clean the plastics, I'm just using the same cleaner from Detail King, the Magic Cleaner, with my boar's hair detail brush to get in all the cracks and crevices. You can also use the Tornador. I'll use the Tornador for some parts, and then I'll do it by hand the rest of the parts. And then sometimes I'll actually just spray it right on the towel and wipe the panels down. The whole vehicle is different. Every vehicle that I detail, I do something a little bit different. There's not one way that's right. There's not one way that's wrong. It's kind of whatever your preference is. And if you're like me, here I'm using the Tornador to get in some of the cracks instead of trying to get in there with my brushes. It works really well. But yeah, if you detail every single day, it's nice to change it up every once in a while. That way you don't get bored with detailing. I definitely like the Tornador for seat tracks, air vents. I try to stay away from any kind of electrical components, but it does come in very handy. And if you got a big air compressor, I definitely recommend checking into the Tornador. Here with these pillar plastics, all I'm doing is spraying it on the rag and wiping it off. There's a couple little areas that I sometimes will need to use a brush or a Tornador, but these weren't really too dirty, just needed a light wipe, and it definitely removed any kind of dirt that was there. With these, just back to the brush, switching it up again. I could use the Tornador in this area, but sometimes just spraying it directly onto the plastics and then agitating it works a little bit faster than the Tornador. In some cases, not every case, but in this case it was a lot faster. And then I basically just used the same three processes to clean the whole interior, front to back, top to bottom. I kind of had to watch my time on this one. I didn't use any kind of vinyl protectant. It's a resale detail, and I'm already probably about 4 hours over what I estimated on this. So for resale details that are going either on the car lot or a private sale, you kind of got to pick and choose what you think the potential buyer might like to see. Glass is super important. The glove box, engine compartment, rear view mirrors, everything that stands out to you when you're detailing it, you want to make sure you get, especially if you're working on a certain amount of time and budget. And then once it's all done, the inside's done, I'll give it a quick vac, throw everything back in, and she's good to go.